It's like a breath of fresh air, ain't it? I ain't on envy, I'm war ready. A young homie, work hard and play harder. That's why I snore heavy. How's it going, everybody? How we doing? I know it's been a little bit since we've been able to get the live stream going due to many different circumstances, but here we are. We're back, and we're going to keep things positive. We're going to be happy. We're going to just enjoy this new season because we've got one of my good friends, one of my longtime friends. His name is Eddie Shafer. You've seen him on the pilot episode or whatever, pilot podcast, whatever. I don't think it's a pilot, but the first podcast that we did. What's up, everybody? I see a few you tuning in already. But yeah, it was real great. We got to kind of get to know him. He's an up-and-coming comedian. He's also the host of The Wizard 88.3 FM. And we just have a lot of questions to ask him today. And he's going to promote some of his events that are coming up. So I'm really excited. And moving forward, one thing that I do want to say on this 11th episode is we're going to keep the live stream on Sundays. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How's yourself?
I'm good, man. I was just telling everybody.
Trying to get the right. Oh, go on.
No worries, man. What were you saying?
I was saying I'm trying to get the right lighting.
Oh, no, you look good, man.
What's up, BT?
You looking fly, bro. You looking fly.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, socks ready. Southside style. Probably won't attend one game, like I always tell myself I'm going to. I'm going to go to a game this year, and I never do. I always forget.
It happens, man. You get busy.
Like a diehard Chicago. Anyway,
especially you, man.
You were talking.
You wear a lot of hats. No pun intended. You got the socks hat, and we're talking about hats, but you wear many hats, my man.
Well said, Dre.
So tell the people.
Yeah, I'm involved in a few things. I got a few things going on. Let's get the sunroof popping. Look at that.
You got to do it big.
Chick magnet right here, 2013 Honda Accord Sun. Yeah, so I do have a lot of things happening. I mean, you know me well by just all the interviews that we've kind of gone through together. I am an on-air DJ so far, still, Thursday nights, 7 to 10 p.m. Central at WZRD Chicago, 88.3 FM. And that is located in Northeastern Illinois University campus. So I've been a DJ there an on-air DJ for like over probably 4 years and some change. It's been a lot.
That's what's up, man.
And I got my my undergrad there, my bachelor's in social work. So
Chocolate Danny.
Chocolate Danny. My buddy, yeah. That's he knows. I have some friends. That's Brandon Washington, BT Dub 73, incredible artist, musician, phenomenal singer, amazing leader energy, brother from another.
Whole 9 yards.
And
whole 9 yards.
he has Champaign, Illinois in his pocket. So, but he was the original drummer and singer / guitarist of my first band, Foo, when I was a kid. You got it, Brandon. When we were all like 19, we played in a band, and this band, Foo, and kind of became legendary in the underground tip.
I remember you were telling me
with
about
a lot of
that
hard work and perseverance.
About your band, Foo. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How did
that was
you guys all linked up like the Avengers or something like that, right? Or how did it all come together?
Well, there's a lot of us. All of us, we're all on the same thread. All the members of that band, Rob, Greg, myself, Brandon, we all still communicate and talk gear and pop events and music stuff and who died and who should have died instead of that musician. But we do keep in touch. You know, some of us, you know, families and different lives, and we're all over the United States, but we stay connected. So that's a beautiful thing.
That's
real
brotherhood.
Actually,
I tell people all the time, it's the real that you don't have to talk to all the time, but, you know, sometimes we get busy in our own world, but you know that when you call this person or when you hit this person up, it's going to be like time hasn't even gone by. So that's beautiful.
that is what it's like. So that when we see each other in the flesh, it's like, oh my God, like look at all this background, look at everything that we've caught up with. And so that's a beautiful feeling. And I'm feeling very grateful to have, those kind of relationships with those lifelong friends who have also I've connected with on an artistic level in a very deep way. So that's been a blessing since my late teens, trying to make it in original music. And then I became a massage therapist in the interim. Probably when I turned 30, I was in another band called Fistine Verona, and that was more kind of, a heavier, style of music, but still kind of a pop bass with harmonies. And we keep in touch too. We're all on the same thread as well. All those guys. That's more Chicago based folks. And now I'm in a band called Meds, which we have a rhythm section. Originally, me and this other gentleman, Mike, we were an acoustic duo, and we played for 10 years as that. We were in other bands together too. But that's happening. So, well, I guess I should go in sequential order. So yeah, the band, massage therapy, I did it licensed in Illinois for 10 years. The other band, Fistine Verona. Now this band called Meds.
And
now that's happening, now that we're... Sure. I guess I've been hustling, but I don't have anything to show for it. I'm still fucking broke. I'm still in collections. But it's all good.
Have all those experiences.
I'm still gainfully employed as a social worker, and I have been for 3 years. I work with Lutheran Social Services of Illinois, and we give opportunities for housing to people that qualify. They are dealing with mental health issues out of nursing homes, homelessness, drug addiction, abuse, criminal history. Like, they've lived a lot of lives. They're very resilient people that have made it into the program, and we're trying to, and it's a state-funded program that gives them access to housing, and we have the funds through Catholic Charities or Chicago Housing Authority that they coordinate with the state to give funding while we try to get them Social Security. But our program has a lot of accrued funds from the state that provide food. We give them a residence. We get them, all their apartments are furnished. So now I'm in charge of finding the housing and furnishing and passing the baton to the next person that's going to help them go to doctor's appointments, go shop on a regular basis, get them new glasses, get referrals for different doctors, psychiatric appointments, medication delivery. So it's a one-stop shop, and I'm very, very blessed to have that as a gainful position. And I hustle a rideshare thing on the side, but that's besides the point. But with all the endeavors that I'm doing, whether I'm moving the crowd through music, whether I was healing the crowd through massage, or now that I'm advocating for people through social work, I feel that God has put me on this planet to serve. And now I'm also healing people through comedy, healing myself through comedy. So I've been a stand-up comic performer in Chicago now for a full year as of March. So March 21 to March 22 has been a full year as a stand-up comic.
Ups and downs, like, for a lot of people, there's going to be people watching the podcast that maybe are thinking of getting into stand-up comedy. Since you've had a year in the game, like, what could you say is maybe a big misconception that people have? And what could you say is maybe a benefit or a good thing about being a comedian in Chicago?
A benefit is like breaking into a new tribe, a new culture that I was not familiar with, of different players in that particular game. Like, when you get to know the culture of hip hop or whatever, just being a musician, it opens you up to all of these different people that you would not have known. All these, like a whole new tribe of people that you weren't familiar with before that you connect with, which is an incredible thing. And the same thing with comedy. So, I don't know if there's any misconceptions other than thinking that anyone can do it.
Right, right. That's what I mean. Because
A lot
there's
of
a lot
people,
of people out there that, and I know because even in my younger time, I used to like when I was young, I used to be like, oh man, I might be a great comedian. I'm just gonna go up there and talk, and it's not the case. Like it's a whole art to it. It's kind of you have to have a
it's
real
a
thick
head
skin
fuck,
because there's
man.
gonna be people that heckle you. I seen it though in the one video that you had that I think you had sent me. You were doing a great job, but there was like this person that kept like I don't know. They were doing like this noise. I don't know if they were drunk or what, but and you kind of incorporated it. Do you remember? You're just like, I don't know if that ooh is booing me or cheering for me, but I don't give a fuck. It was hilarious, man. It was great how you were so quick on your feet.
Yeah, yeah. The guy was cheering me on. I've come to find out, but it was definitely
Right. It sounded weird.
kind of getting in the way of my flow.
Yeah.
Um, but luckily, that was a positive. That was positive feedback. But that was like the first paid show that I did, and it was like 2 years in the making for that show because my buddy Rudy from this band called the Dead On, he was headlining a rock show and trying to kind of get a benefit for a friend or the family of the friend who had passed, but it ended up just becoming a rock show. So I want to say if it was last February or March, March. Okay, so it was February technically. So I guess it was last No, that's wrong. Damn. I think it was last summer that the show finally was able to get underway post-COVID. And it was at a rock club. I opened up. There was 20 minutes of material I needed to provide, and I did. I filmed it for $100 from his cameraman, and then I tried to upload it to YouTube, and it didn't work. So I don't know what I ended up screwing up. But there's 20 minutes of a comedy special out there of me that I just have to like revisit and upload again. And it's strange because there's been new material and kind of finding my voice within that time, and I'm like, well, do I release this? It's like, well, yeah, motherfucker, you paid $100 for it. So there will be a 20-minute special that's very noisy in a bar that I perform at, and it's really funny. It's called Mr. Eddie, Ugly Americans. So there's a theme there.
That's so cool.
And I just kind of go off on a lot of politically incorrect stuff, but there's some messages
Sometimes
going
the
on.
politically incorrect stuff
So
is
the
the
thing is
funniest,
like,
man. Sometimes it's the best stuff.
what's that?
Sometimes the politically incorrect
Say
stuff
that
is the
again?
funniest. Sometimes that's the best stuff. That's what we love, you know?
I mean, that's kind of, I like cussing and running around and doing my thing. But it's been really cool. It's been a really fun ride. I actually had an opportunity to host my own open mic, but it was at a brewery. I think it was an experiment for them. Their hands were tied as far as their ability to market the way they wanted to. There was a crowd that was just sort of used to the way things were there, and I don't think they were used to comedy. I guess at the end there was complaints from the staff and from the audience. I was told from the general manager, and I never received the email I was promised detailing what that was. But and I probably didn't want to know, to be honest with you. And
keep them negative vibes away at all costs.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all good. I mean, they did what they had to do, and they worked really well with me, but there was a lot of stuff that were kind of stacked against them, too, and they have their own. It was just too much, I think, all around to be successful long-term at that particular venue is all.
Real quick, I don't want to
But
cut
I
you
had
off,
it's under
but
my
I really
belt.
want to say thank you. We've actually had a lot of people join the live stream, a lot of your friends, supporters, and a lot of people that just are supporting the podcast. So thank you to each and every one of you guys for joining. I really appreciate that. My bad, man. I've been waving at so many people on the thing. I'm like, let me acknowledge them real quick because it's been great. There's been a few people now. So
totally. I'm glad people are carving out time on a Saturday at 2 p.m. when they could be like making sweet love to their partner.
Hey, you're funny. Now I do want to bring something else up real quick. I know that you have a few events coming up. Why don't you go ahead and plug those events?
Yes.
Let us know, like, what's going down and maybe where they are.
Okay.
The dates.
I stupidly did not write that. I can't flip out of this app and go to the physical addresses. So I'm just going to have to, you're going to have to Google it. But I'm performing. I'm another like official paid performance. I'm going to be in a showcase as a comedian, Mr. Eddie, 420 this upcoming Wednesday at uh, Small World Bar and Grill. I want to say it's like 3300 block of 106th Street in Chicago. That's Small World Bar and Grill. Look it up because, again, I didn't write the frickin' address outside. And then I'm going to be playing at a place called the Ashberry Cafe in Willow Springs, Illinois, and that is on 6/9, so June 6th. So very suggestive dates that I'm performing, 420 and 6/9. Pretty hilarious.
That is
And
funny.
they're pretty spaced apart.
So that is like, what a coincidence.
Yeah, and Ashberry and this gentleman Christopher, he does all of the bookings at the Ashberry Cafe. That's Ashbary. Ashberry Improv is the name of it, but it's a cafe, and it's on this weird strip mall. It's like there's a tattoo place, some really high end diner, this really cool cafe, and they do a lot of improv and open mics and stuff like that. And I'm going to be in the showcase, another paid showcase. So 2 shows coming up, 420 Small World Bar and Grill at 106th Street, like 3300 block south, 106th. I hope I'm getting that right. But look it up on Google because I can't flip out of this app because I didn't.
Description so people could look it up. But yeah, man, I'm really excited, man.
Please do. And let me promote the guy who's putting the show on next week. His name's Agapito or Pete, and you need to look this guy up at Just a Guy Productions. Just a Guy Productions. That's his site, and he's been putting on all of these shows and showcases and open mics at Small World Bar. It's Mexican run or owned, I believe. So it's like you're getting a whole nother culture, a whole nother side of the city. And comedy has been blowing up exponentially. Kind of going back to your question, it's hard to find a voice. I think that's the hardest part. And performing in front of comedians because they're just watching you.
Right. They're not
and they can be the harshest
they
critic.
Want to be the funniest guy that night. Yeah. I remember I think we talked about
well, sure.
That.
They
were telling me that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they might be stealing your material for all you know. So that's been a challenge, and connect. Yeah. But connecting with people in that community has been good. It was a slow burn because Chicago's very kind of like gatekeepy a little bit. I think more competitive, right? They want to see if you're cool and trying to navigate the woke movement and trying to curtail your material where you're being yourself. You're being edgy, you're going off about it, but you're telling jokes, and you're also trying to have fun. So you're trying to you're trying to multitask a lot of things into one, and that's been a real interesting experience. And anyway, to get to your point, that's sort of been a major challenge, kind of, and also getting over other people's opinions on stuff. So you just got to be confident. I've maintained confidence. I'm not the best comic, like I said. Like I just been doing it for a year, but I've been making moves, and now I'm in 2 shows. There will be more. I'm making connections with people, and I think and like music, you got to hustle. You got to get out there and schmooze. You got to, and also support other comedy showcases and shows, and then get to know that group of people, and then keep grinding, and do as many open mics as you can. So. And then if you also have a full-time job, it's like, well, I have to have some me time. And so keeping it consistent it can be a challenge. And then obviously I'm doing radio Thursdays, and then I have practice once a week with a band. And then at some point in the summer, we'll be playing live shows.
And so what it sounds like, man, is like, even though you got your hands in so much, and it's got to be exciting, but at the same time, it can, if you don't know how to balance it, can be overwhelming, but you found a way to maneuver it and take care of business. And I'm sure you have your days as creatives, as entrepreneurs. We have our days where it's like, man, but you keep pushing forward, and like you said, you just keep working. And I see, even just from the first podcast episode I did with you to now, I've seen the growth in your confidence and what you're doing. So I'm really excited to see what the future has in
Thank
store
you.
for you, man. For real.
I appreciate you, Dre, and what you've been doing is fire. And listen to this guy spit, everybody. He's a second coming to
Man, I
Twister.
appreciate it.
Even better, even
Man,
better. No, you're a phenomenal human being and performer, and I'm glad that I've linked up with you. And I can't thank you enough for conducting this
oh, no
interview with
worries,
me.
man. That's what it's all about, is us helping each other. And it's even more exciting to me. Like, I love to interview artists and musicians, but when I interview somebody that's in a different field, like you being a stand up comedian, you being a radio host, and you've been in music, it opens up, an array of things for us to talk about. And I'm sure there's people watching that can absorb even just a little bit of information, even if it's just a nugget of a gem that can help them push forward and do something better. So, I'm gonna.
Well, here let me give you not to cut you off, and let me give everybody words of inspiration. I'm 50. I know I look good, but here's
Very
the
good.
real thing. Uh, Everything's been like a slow burn for me forever. Like I'm finally in a place where it's quality. I'm working with quality things. I demand quality out of my life, but there's still things I'm working with internally and growing and evolving as a human being to just make sure I'm the best I can be, right? And the whole point of any of this shit is just to never stop doing what you're doing. If you never stop, you're going to get to some place. You're going to hit a plateau. You're going to hit pay dirt, but you got to be integral to the whole
Too many people walk
to
away.
your movement, and you got to be and you got to be real with yourself, and you just got to keep grinding, man. I hate to use that term, but you just have to keep working. You have to keep pushing at it. You also have to continue to work on yourself. Everything's like a work in progress, and Shaolin philosophy is just repetition.
Exactly.
So perfection become, or perfect. I would say repetition begets perfection. So as long as you're staying on a schedule, disciplining yourself with healthy habits, which I've certainly had uh, some conflict with, and to be at this place in my life where I'm more conscious, I'm more sober minded, and just more in control. But also I'm trying to enjoy the process, while I'm working. It's a good place. It's a good place, but never stop. The whole point: don't stop, not stopping.
Man, it's inspiring to see it from somebody that you're an OG, man. Like, and in a good way, because like you said, you're still looking sexy, man. I'm telling you, I wouldn't believe that you're 50, bro. You're killing the
Man,
game. You're killing the game, and to see your positivity.
yeah, I'm single as fuck, but it's
For the
okay.
ladies out there, they know that. But nah, man, it's your energy, man, your drive, and just your overall positive light, man. I'm glad that I have this friendship with you because it's beyond music and all that, man. You're my buddy, man. You're my homie. So, it's just
Absolutely.
great. I love it. Have great people
Back at
around me.
you.
So before we end the interview, man, I want to give you a chance to tell everybody where they can find you online. You've already kind of given them where you're going to be performing, but maybe if you want to drop your Twitter or Facebook or Instagram handle, and someone in the comments, we still have a
Yeah.
few people with us. If they want to ask a question, they can go ahead, and then we'll wrap it up, man.
Yeah. What are you? So you can find me in Instagram at Shafer Eddie. So that's ShaferEddie, Instagram, and then Facebook Eddie, middle initial L for Lee. Yeah, that's my middle name, and then Shafer on Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I don't know if I want to go into that world, but I know that I'm catching up. And obviously doing what I'm doing is forcing me to get a little bit more technologically savvy and kind of hip to the app technology. And I've been slowly getting into that because it's necessary for what we do. I guess you can email me. I'll let you do that. You can email me at eddieshafer086 at gmail.com. My name, 086 at gmail.com. And then lastly, I have upcoming performances as a comedian. Mr. Eddie is my comedic name. And Chocolate Danny is like the other person that I am in Meds as a musician. And I've got two shows coming up next Wednesday, 420, Small World Bar and Grill. Starts at 9. And then in June 6th, at the Ashbury Improv in Willow Springs, Illinois. I'm sorry I don't have the exact address in front of me. That's also 9 o'clock.
No worries.
So
I'll
keep
include
your laughing
everything
boots on.
in the YouTube description, but I'm sure more people will be able to.
And the 420 gig next week, please throw in the tag Just a Guy Productions. Just a
Just the
Guy
guy
Productions.
productions. We'll throw that
That's
in there too.
Agapito. That's the guy. Just a Guy Productions. Make sure you tag that cat. His name's Agapito. He's a cool motherfucker. And he's given me some opportunities to perform as like, not just like a guy opening up, but like as a main showcased artist, 8 minutes. But 8 minutes is an eternity, and you got to be hot in 8. So I'm hoping to do that, do some crowd work, do some topical stuff, some jokes, but really just have fun and kind of make people forget about their woes for the day. Well, everyone will probably be really high.
That's the best
So
part.
I'll be like the sober guy in the crowd being like, is my comedy hitting or is everyone high as balls? And so that might be a possibility too.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for joining us today. It was a great interview, as as always. I'll make sure this is uploaded by Sunday night, and we'll be able to give you the links and all that. But I'm really excited that you were a part of this again. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. And man, you're the man, bro. Chocolate Danny.
Same.
Oh man, I love that name.
Thanks. Yeah, bro. I got to give you. Speaking of Chocolate Danny, so Meds, my band, MEDS. You can find us on SoundCloud. It's an EP that we recorded in 2014, but it does represent kind of the sound that we're going for in the band. And you can look at us on SoundCloud in all capital letters. So it's hashtag Meds Chicago. So if you type in a search in SoundCloud, hashtag Meds MEDS Chicago, will pop up. A 4-song EP will pop up. We look like Hall & Oates in the picture. It's like real ebony and ivory shit.
Funny, man. But yeah, man, go ahead and look that up, guys. Show my man Eddie some support. And this was Lionheart Live Talk for today. We'll see you guys next week with another episode. My man Eddie, we gonna sign out, man. I appreciate you. Socks heading out.
Sign out, peace out, all the best. Love y'all out there. Keep grinding.
Yes, sir.
Peace.